So we have even more interesting developments in this newest chapter, but just like last time I want to do a quick recap of what happened in the previous chapter. So in the previous chapter we got to see the new Mark III pacifistas attacking CP0, showing off some of their new technologies. These Mark III pacifistas were sent by Centauro. We also saw that the Vegapunk clones have now lost control of the Frontier Dome, and the crew are splitting up to look for the real Vegapunk and Bonnie. It's also noted that Luffy and Zoro stay behind to guard an unconscious Lucci and Kaku. Then we cut to Kuma's memory world with Bonnie witnessing a young Kuma being abused and insisting on not going back somewhere that we are still unsure where, but based on the silhouettes in this chapter, it's implied that it's somewhere to do with the Celestial Dragons. But back to Egghead, we see that the traitor is back again, and this time they actually blow up Pythagoras, and then cutting out of Egghead, we see that Big News Morgan has rescued Vivi along with Warpole, and it's implied that Warpole knows something about the world government, as he's acting very paranoid in this chapter. And we also find out that Morgan intends on writing a headline pinning the new kidnapping of Vegapunk on the Straw Hats. Back to this week's chapter, we have the title Labo Phase Death Game, and Shaka is trying to contact Pythagoras, but there is no response. Shaka sees someone's shadow in the monitor, but that shadow quickly destroys all the Den Mushi. Luffy notices that the voices in his headphones are gone because the communications have been cut off. Luffy also comes to watch the monitors with Shaka, watching the screens go out one by one, and they cannot see what's going on. Shaka says, "There's someone in the laboratory with us," and the Straw Hats and Vegapunk clones are now divided into 4 separate groups. So group 1 consists of Nami, Brook, and Edison, with Nami finding some treasure, which are these man-made diamonds. Group 2 consists of Chopper, Robin, and Atlas, and they find some man-made organs, and Robin seems to believe that Vegapunk got chopped into pieces. Group 3 consists of Sanji, Jinbei, and Stussy. They are all walking into a weapon-making area, and Sanji wants Stussy to call him a dog. Group 4 consists of Usopp, Frankie, Lilith, and York, and they come across the place where Pythagoras got attacked, and we discover that Pythagoras survived because his head had jumped out of his body just in time. York also finds S-Snake near the area and walks up to pet her. Pythagoras tells her to stop, but it's too late. S-Snake turns York into stone, and then attacks the rest of the group, and they have to jump down to the floor below in order to escape. Cut back to the control room, Esper and S-Hawk barge in and start attacking everyone, including CP0. Luffy and Zoro then have to carry Lucci, Kaku, and Shaka in order to avoid the beams, and it's noted that Luffy does not have his tongue out. Shaka then orders Esper and S-Hawk to stop, but they don't. Shaka then says that this means the person who gave them the order must be a Vegapunk as well. Lucci and Kaku then wake up and say to Luffy and Zoro that they should fight together temporarily in order to survive the situation. Lucci says, "Straw Hat, take our handcuffs away, we are more useful without them." The chapter ends with Luffy and Zoro making disgusted faces like is seen here, and there is no break next week. So it's looking like things are really picking up in Egghead now with this whole death game that's going on. Kind of reminds me a lot of the culling games that are happening in the more recent Jujutsu Kaisen chapters. It's also interesting to me that it's confirmed that the traitor is in fact a Vegapunk, and it's one of the Vegapunks that have ordered the Seraphim to start attacking everyone, and not Saint J. Garcia Satin or even Kizaru like I initially thought, as we know that their orders can no longer be overridden. I think it's pretty crazy as well to see Lucci and Kaku potentially teaming up with Luffy and Zoro, maybe even facing Kizaru. I'm not sure, but seeing that these CP0 members have officially betrayed the world government, in quotes I guess, it means that they're gonna start becoming wanted people, and we might even see an official bounty for someone like Rob Lucci, which would just be crazy, especially as we're coming into the end game of One Piece. It's looking more and more like it's going to be an all-out battle royale at the end, so I'm feeling very excited. It's also interesting to note that we probably aren't going to be seeing a Luffy and Zoro tag team against Kizaru, or maybe even seeing the Five Elders in action, as with Lucci and Kaku on their side, it seems like too much of a one-way fight for it to really be considered fair. So I'm kind of curious as to just where this death game is going to end up and who might not survive. I'm putting my bets on Vegapunk himself ultimately dying at the end of this arc, but that's just my own personal theory. So I guess let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know who you guys think the traitor might be and what we might start to see happening in the coming chapters. So that's about it. I hope you guys have a great one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.